Are you tired of running out of storage in the cloud and then having to pay a monthly fee just to keep accessing your own files? Honestly, something just doesn't feel right about dumping all that data into the hands of these big companies and then pretty much paying rent for storage that you don't actually own. Well, I've decided to stop paying and put the data back in my own hands by setting up this Pi 5 with Nextcloud and Tailscale, turning it into my own private cloud storage that syncs data across all my devices. And just like OneDrive or iCloud Drive, it integrates directly into the file system of any device. And if you like to use your browser instead, it's got a nice dashboard for that too. The best part is, with this setup, you can access your files anywhere you go with 0 subscriptions. In this video, I'll be taking you through the entire setup from start to finish, so no more waiting, let's get right into it. To start, here's everything you're gonna need for the setup. Of course, a Raspberry Pi 5. I recommend getting at least the 4GB model. I'll be pairing it here with an active cooling fan for ideal performance. We'll also need a micro SD card for the initial setup, but for our real storage, we'll be using an M.2 NVMe. This is one I just had lying around, but I've linked some compatible options in the description. Then we'll need a Pi 5 NVMe hat that's gonna let us connect our NVMe up to the Pi. I'll also be adding this basic bumper case for extra protection, and finally a 27-watt USB-C power supply. Links to everything I've shown will be in the description below. The assembly itself is super straightforward. First, align and attach the cooling fan by pushing the plastic pins through the mounting points. Then put the bumper case on if you have it. Use the provided standoffs and screws to mount the NVMe hat. And then connect the ribbon cable. Finally, slide the NVMe into place and secure it with the screw at the very end. This hardware setup is going to be perfectly functional, but if you want a cleaner all-in-one solution, I'd recommend something like the Argon Neo 5 case, which has the fan and NVMe slot built in. I'll link that in the description below as well. All right, once you've got everything assembled, we can put the Pi aside for now and grab our micro SD card. We'll start by plugging it into the computer and heading over to the official Raspberry Pi website where we'll be downloading their imaging software. So we'll click here first to download it. And once that's downloaded and installed, you can go ahead and open it up. We're gonna start by configuring some of the menu options here. So first, we're gonna select Raspberry Pi 5, which is our model. For operating system, we're gonna go with the latest 64-bit version at the top here. Click Next, then select our micro SD card here. Then we'll wanna set a host name. I'm gonna use what was here already, so iCloud. Pick something that's kind of easy to remember since we'll need it after setup. Click Next. Then we're gonna need to set the capital city. So for me, Washington, DC, and then time zone. Once you've got that, click Next. Then we're gonna need to set a username and a password. Username doesn't really matter what it is, but also make sure to note it because we're gonna need it later as well. For password, just make sure to set something secure. Click Next. Then we're gonna need to set the Wi-Fi. So for my home network, I'll just enter the password in here. Make sure that Enable SSH is on because that's how we're gonna be connecting to the Pi. And we can leave Raspberry Pi Connect off. And that should be all the options here. So we're gonna click Write. It's gonna make us confirm. And it might ask for your password here as well. Just enter that in. And now it's gonna write the image to the SD card, so we'll just wait for that to finish. All right, now once that finishes, you're gonna see this screen here. We can go ahead and press Finish, and now we can safely remove our micro SD card from our computer and plug it into the Pi. Then we can take our USB-C power cable and plug that into the Pi as well. And we'll give it a couple minutes to get booted up. All right, now after a couple minutes have gone by, we're gonna try remotely connecting to the Pi via SSH. So open up a terminal or command prompt if you're on Windows, and we're gonna type in the command SSH username at hostname.local. So for me, it's pi at picloud.local. Then we'll type yes, and then enter our password. And we should be connected, awesome. So right now the Pi is running off of the micro SD card here, but we really wanna be running off of this NVMe here. So our first goal is gonna be to clone the entire system from the micro SD card onto the NVMe, which is actually way simpler than it sounds. And before we do that, we're gonna need to run one quick command to kind of prep the system. I have it in this text file here that I'm gonna copy, but I'm also gonna have it down in the description so that you can just copy and paste it as well. But we're gonna take it, copy here, and paste it. This command is basically just changing a memory setting that's gonna give us full compatibility with Nextcloud. So now that we run that, we can get on to the cloning process. For that, we're gonna be using a really convenient tool called RPI Clone, and specifically a version published by Jeff Geerling. So first we'll head to the website here, which I'll also link below. Then we're gonna copy this command here at the top, head back to our terminal, and paste it in. And once that's installed, we can run the clone command sudo rpi-clone NVMe 0 and 1 and hit enter. Then it's going to go through the cloning process, which is just going to take a minute or two. When we see this message here, we can hit enter. And now everything that was on the micro SD card should be copied onto the NVMe. But before we reboot and test, we're actually going to change the boot order on the Pi just to be sure. And to do that, we're going to go to the configuration settings. So we can get to that by using the command sudo raspi-config. Then we'll go down to number 6, advanced options, A4 boot order, and then we're going to go to B2 so that it prefers the NVMe drive. Now the NVMe is our default boot device. We're going to click OK, finish, and I'm actually going to select no on the reboot now. And instead what I'm going to do is I'm just going to manually unplug the Pi here, and that's because I'm actually going to take out the micro SD card completely since we're not really going to be needing that anymore. So we can put that to the side and then give it power again. And again, we're just going to give it a minute or two to boot back up. All right, now we can connect back to the Pi with the same command from before, the SSH username at hostname.local. And I'm going to clear this terminal right now just to clean things up. And if we can SSH back into the Pi, we know that it's completely running off of the NVMe now, which is great. And now we can actually move on to setting up the 2 services that are going to be powering this entire setup, Nextcloud and Tailscale. We'll start first with Nextcloud. If you're not familiar with it, it's what's going to basically be managing our entire file system on the Pi, ensuring that our files and our data are accessible and sync across all of our devices. We're going to be installing it with something called Snap, and it's pretty much the most straightforward way to get Nextcloud up and running on the Pi. So first we'll install Snap by running the command sudo apt install snap with a D at the end and then -y. Then we'll run sudo snap install Nextcloud. And this one might take a little longer. Once that's done, just to confirm everything's running correctly, I'm gonna use the command sudo snap services. And yeah, everything that is necessary here looks like it's running, so we're good to go. Now that Nextcloud's up and running, we can access and initialize the web dashboard by going to our Pi's IP address. So I don't know the IP address of my Pi, so I'm gonna type the command ifconfig, then look for the WLAN 0 section and copy this first IP address here. Open up a new tab in your browser and paste that IP address in. Here it's gonna ask us to set up an administrator account name and password. Just make sure to set a secure password since all your data is gonna be living within this account. And now we'll just wait for it to install and initialize. It might seem like it's frozen or something, but it takes a minute or two. So I'll save that, skip. So this is the web dashboard I was talking about at the beginning, which will allow us to manage our files through our browser. And I'm not gonna do anything on here just yet, so more on this later. Right now, we're gonna move on to setting up and installing Tailscale. So if you're not familiar, Tailscale is basically a VPN, and it's what's gonna give us access to the Pi from anywhere around the world. So to get started with Tailscale, we're gonna go to their website and go to the download section for Linux. You can see that they have a bunch of different platforms here, but we're gonna copy the command here, go back to our terminal and paste it in. Now we can run the command shown here, sudo tailscale up, and it's gonna ask us to authenticate. So we'll copy this link here, head to our browser. So there's a bunch of ways you can sign in. I'm gonna use GitHub and then press connect. Now we can visit the console and you can see here that iCloud shows up on my account. I've also got some other devices set up, which we'll get to in just a bit. So at this point, we're really close to getting everything fully set up. There's just a final set of commands that we're gonna need to run here so that Nextcloud runs seamlessly alongside Tailscale. These are a bit long, so I'll have them also down in the description below for you to copy and paste. But these commands are what's gonna kind of bridge the gap between Nextcloud and Tailscale, making sure that they trust each other and that there's a secure connection. So first we're gonna copy these first 2 commands here. Then the next set here, you'll see this your Tailscale DNS name. So you're gonna need to replace that with your own Tailscale DNS name. And where you find that is on your Tailscale dashboard, where your Pi is. Click this little arrow here and then copy this address right here. So the .ts.net address. And we're gonna replace this section with that address. Hit enter. Then the last command here. So with that last command, our Pi should be fully set up now and we can actually move on to testing. So what we're gonna do is grab any device you wanna access the Pi storage from, and on any of those devices, you'll need to install the Tailscale and Nextcloud applications. Both are super simple and I'll show you how to do that right now. Since I'm working with my Mac here, that's what I'll set it up on. So first we'll head back to the Tailscale downloads page, and they have an application available for any platform. So for me, Mac OS, I'll download that and install it. Once I have that installed, I can go ahead and open it up. And for Mac, it'll show in the menu bar at the top here. For Windows, it'll be in the taskbar, but I'll go ahead and toggle that on to connect. I'm gonna sign in with GitHub just like I did on the Pi. Authorize it, connect, and visit the console. So you can see that my Mac shows up in my Tailscale account now, and I'll even connect to my phone's hotspot just to kind of simulate being away from my home network. And with just Tailscale installed, I can actually still access the Nextcloud dashboard and all the files that are on my Pi by copying this address here and pasting it into a browser. So we'll head there. So you can bookmark this page if you want to keep it and manage your files from just the browser. But if you're like me and you want full integration with the device's file system, kind of like how OneDrive or iCloud works, we can go ahead and install the Nextcloud application, which is also available for Windows, Mac, as well as Android and iOS. If you're setting this up on Mac like I am, make sure to install the virtual files version since that'll have the full functionality that we want. But we can go ahead and download and install that one as well. Once you have that downloaded and installed, we can go ahead and open it up, and it's gonna ask us to log in. So in this field right here is where we're gonna want to paste the Tailscale address. So we're gonna copy that again from the Tailscale admin page, click next. And it's gonna want us to authenticate. So we're gonna grant access. Now we should be connected, we can close the window. Once we're logged in, it should show you this landing page here. But what we really care about is how it integrates with the file system. So we can go ahead and open up the Finder or File Explorer, and you should see this little icon here, Nextcloud. This is actually all the files that the Pi currently has in it. So these are all just default from Nextcloud, but for example, if we wanted to check out this intro MP4, we could download it like we would from like iCloud Drive or OneDrive and view it. So yeah, this gives us access to download, upload, delete, whatever you want with all your files that are on your Pi. And just to show you that this does sync across different devices, I just mirrored my phone here. I've got Tailscale set up and connected, and I've downloaded the Nextcloud app, which I'll log into using that ts.net address. Again, this is kind of like the dashboard again. We could kind of access our files and manage them through the application, but like on the computer, there is like a little Nextcloud location that shows up in the actual file system. So we can go to that, and again, those are all of our files. And let's just pretend that I wanted to make a copy of this PDF here. You can see that it's syncing it, uploading it, and you can see that it shows up on the iPhone. So it seems like everything's working, everything's syncing across my different devices, whether I'm on my home network or not. And that pretty much wraps it up. It feels good to actually own my data with no subscriptions and still have all the cloud storage functionality. As always, thank you for watching and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I've got more on the way, so I'll see you in the next one.